So we're here today to test a double check device. This is a 3/4 inch Febco 850. Direction of flow is this way. Flow arrow is cast into the top cover. Test cocks number 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the adapters already installed. We're going to simulate a downstream shutoff that's leaking on this. So we're not going to close our shutoff all the way to show that it's leaking. So first test is our first check. So we're going to hook our high to 2, our low to 3, open our test cocks, purge high, purge low, and look at our differential. It's higher than what we would expect. Close our test cocks, move our hoses to test the second check. So high on 3, low on 4. Open our test cocks, purge high, purge low, and we show a differential. So now we need to confirm that we have no flow. So close our test cocks, move our hoses back to test cocks 2 and 3. Open 2, open 3, purge high, purge low, still show a differential. Going to take our vent hose, open the low to purge the air out of it, connect it to test cock 4, open test cock 4, and open our high control valve. Next, we'll close test cock number 2, and we're looking for our gauge to remain steady. At this point, the gauge went to 0. So now we know that we have flow through the unit, and our test is invalid. At this point, we either need to find another downstream shutoff to ensure that we have no flow, or repair the number 2 shutoff. So we're going to close test cock number 4, close test cock number 3, and start the test over from the beginning. So disconnect our vent hose, open test cock 2, open test cock 3, purge high, purge low, and record our differential. Now our differential is lower than it was during the test when we had flow. Close test cocks 2 and 3, and move our hoses to test the second check. So we'll hook high to 3, low to 4, open our test cocks, and we'll purge high, purge low, and now we see that we have a bad second check, whereas the first test showed that this was a good second check.
When you establish flow, you can see the differential go up. Flow through the unit can provide for a false positive result on the backflow test. Stopping the flow, we again see the differential drop to 0.
So at this point, we know that the unit has failed the test, has a bad second check. Second check needs to be repaired before the unit can be retested. So we'll close our test cocks, remove our gauge, and restore the unit to service. That concludes the test of a double check valve device with a failed second check and a leaking downstream shutoff.